Good afternoon. I'm glad to see you here this afternoon. But there's one thing I promise you. I promise you, you won't sleep. You won't sleep, and I promise you, each one of you will leave this room having something to take home, and that's my promise. Betul lah saya akan bersara 2 tahun, kurang daripada 2 tahun daripada sekarang. Namun saya masih mahu berkongsi tentang teknik pembelajaran yang engaging. Saya Dr. Vincent Epidemics baru balik daripada Sabah. Pengarah Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah, dia menggunakan perkataan menggoda. So in Sabah, they get the teachers to menggoda murid. What I understand from the word menggoda is engagement. How can we engage students in the classroom? How many of you would enjoy seeing your student learning? Can you put out your hand? Do you enjoy seeing student learning? Ada tak cikgu? I see a lot of hands. Well done. You are in the right place. Kata orang, if you don't love children, you have no business in teaching. Betul? Baik, hari ini saya akan beri peluang untuk cikgu nanti buat it's a back help. In a back help, you have to do it yourself. It is a experiential learning. Pernah dengar tak yang pembelajaran pengalamian? Pernah dengar? Pernah. Have you heard people talking about experiential learning? Experiential learning. Have you heard people talking about that? Ataupun dalam bahasa Malaysia, pembelajaran pengalamian. Can you repeat after me? Pembelajaran pengalamian. Saya tanya cikgu, apakah maksud dengan pembelajaran pengalamian? What is the meaning of experiential learning? What do you think it means? I give you a few seconds to think. Experiential learning. Apa betul? Now, boleh tak cikgu pandang ke sebelah? Can you tell the person next to you what do you think is the meaning of experiential learning? Boleh beritahu kawan sebelah. Apa maksud dengan experiential learning? Beritahu kawan Okay, you see, I always victimize my former student. Here's another one, because my own student easy to victimize. Cikgu Susan, can you tell us what Cikgu Wong tell you? Learning through experience. Yeah? Cikgu, what did your friend tell you? Through experiences. Very good answers. Now, what I wanted you to do was, later on, I will keep repeating that. Tell the person next to you. Tell the person next to you. The reason is, we want our students, every student in the classroom, to be involved. Kalau tidak, cikgu, murid kita yang pandai itu, asyik mereka saja yang tangan lambai-lambai, asyik mereka saja yang jawab soalan kita. Kita tak perlu jawapan dia, sebab kita tahu dia sudah faham, dia sudah pandai. Yang kita mahu ialah belajar yang jarang buka mulut mereka. Jadi, cooperative learning is would give the children opportunities to speak. If you have 50 students in the classroom, we want semua 50 orang murid mereka terlibat. The word to use is engagement. Can you say after me, engagement? Again? This is the word that I want you to remember as we go through the bengkel this afternoon. Ya. Seterusnya, sebelum kita mula, mari kita sama-sama membaca. I want everybody to read. This is the learning outcome. Before we start, we need to be clear at the end of the session, what is going to happen? What would you achieve? Can we all read the first one? 1, 2, read. Jelas, cikgu nanti mampu menghurai langkah teknik yang bakal dikongsikan. I'm making sure every one of you will be able to describe the techniques. Can you read the second one? Jangan risau, cikgu. You would only need about 10 minutes to do this afterwards. And then yang ketiga, can you read the third one? Saya difahamkan ada sekolah yang hanya mengantar wakil. Jadi mereka ini nanti apabila balik ke sekolah, boleh adakan you will plan LDT for your colleagues there. Alright, so the 3 learning outcomes, any problem with them? Clear? So you know where you're going. Okay. Can you look at that? Apa benda FYN? FYN. Cikgu, you always ask your students to answer questions. Petang ini, I give you back a taste of your own medicine. Saya tanya cikgu soalan, apa maksud dengan FYN? What is FYN? Fikir, cikgu fikir. Lepas cikgu fikir, saya mahu cikgu beritahu kawan sebelah apa maksud FYN. Ya, can you tell the person sitting next to you what is the meaning of FYN? Tell. Okay, never mind. I see people telling. Okay, I see some telling. Can you share with us what your friend told you? Follow your need. Listen up. I want to tell you this. My friend told me. I asked him to share. Dia tidak ada masalah dengan beritahu saya apakah jawapan kawan dia. Sebab senang untuk manusia beritahu the whole world what is the answer according to somebody else. Tetapi kalau kita tanya dia, Cikgu Nicholas akan fikir dulu. Can I say or not? Say or not? Say or not? Takut jawapan itu salah. So this is a technique to get students who are shy. They will tell their friends the answer. Nampak? Jadi kita tak tanya dia apakah jawapan, kita tanya kawan dia pula. Faham tak? So follow your need. Any other version? FYN. Cikgu Susan again. That's the problem when I only know you. Did your friend tell you anything or not? Haven't come up. That's common. Sometimes the students cannot think. Anybody volunteer, gentlemen? Did your friend tell you anything? No. Okay. What it means is face your neighbor. Your neighbor adalah orang sebelah, jiran. Face your neighbor. So tanya soalan. Katakan soalan saya, cikgu. How long do you think an individual listening span is? Seorang individu, dia mampu mendengar seorang bercakap berapa lama? How long can somebody listen to someone talking? Think. Now you face your neighbor. Tell the person next to you. Tell the person next to you. How long? Berapa lama? Berapa minit? Kalau minit, berapa minit? How long? How long do you think? Did your friend tell you? How long? Your friend told you how long? 7 minutes, okay? Your friend told you how long? 3 minutes. Your friend told you how long? 10 minutes. What did your friend tell you? What did your friend tell you? Not yet. What did your friend tell you? Also didn't think. Okay, I give you the answer. Dia mengikut usia. Tetapi dia berhenti 17 minit. Maksud cikgu, katakan murid itu 10 tahun. Dia dapat mendengar sehingga 10 minit. Lepas itu dia dah pergi benda lain. Tetapi it stops at 17 minutes. Saya dah hampir 60 tahun. Tidak bermakna saya mampu mendengar 1 jam. The most is 20 minit, 17 minit dan 20 minit. That is the length of our listening span. After that, you cannot listen anymore. You start thinking about other things. Yeah. So, what we have done is actually technique think, pair, share. Can you say that after me? Think, pair, share. I ask you a question, and then you will think A. Then I ask you to tell your neighbor. Tell your neighbor. And then I ask you to share. Can you say again? Think, pair, share. Again, think, pair, share. This is one technique. Okay. Now, these are definitions that you have read. All it means is working together effectively. You make sure everyone in the group learns something. Yeah? And if you have students working in groups, this is what you will see. Yeah? Kita seronok melihat murid dan pelajar kita bekerja dalam cooperative learning groups. And what do? They work together. What else do you see? They think, we swim or we sing together. Kalau kita tidak, semua ahli tidak buat. If you have one member in the group not doing the work, the whole group will sink, tenggelam. Okay? Now, as we go along, I want you to think about these 4 things. Dalam cooperative learning, acronym PIES. Kita ingat acronym PIES ini wujud. Ya, P itu positive interdependence. I, accountability individual. E, equal participation. S, simultaneous interaction. Interaksi antara murid. Pada masa yang sama, everyone is speaking. Everybody is interacting with each other. You will see this happening afterwards when we go into the bengkel. You see this picture. Those of you who are teaching, you're teaching primary school. Saya tak tahu sama ada murid di primary school. Ada yang begini. Ini sekolah saya dahulu, tingkatan 5. The top class. The top class. That means top class, you don't have problem, no issues with discipline. But how can there be like this? Apa sebab mereka begini? Jawapannya senang. Cikgu yang mengajar mereka sangat boring. Cikgu ini mengajar kesusteraan. Dia minta murid salin apa yang dia cakap. So after 5 minutes, the students were like this. You can imagine, kalau 1 jam buat begini, tak banyak pembelajaran yang berlaku. Saya risau, saya sakit hati lihat murid pelajar saya pandai. They are like this. Not their fault. Bukan salah mereka. Salah siapa? Guru dia. Kalau cikgu perhatikan dalam gambar tadi, the blackboard, my teachers in the school, they have to write hasil pembelajaran mereka. Sebelum mereka mula pengajaran, dia tulis hasil pembelajaran. Ya? Tengok cikgu ini, dia tulis apa dah? Ringkasan dan apa lagi satu. That is not hasil pembelajaran. Malas kan cikgu tu. Jadi pelajar mereka tidak tahu halang tuju untuk lesson itu. They didn't know where they're going. A good teacher will write clearly hasil pembelajaran. Nah, kerisauan saya sebagai pengetua, kita lihat student yang begini, and then you see this, pelajar pesimis. Mereka tidak fokus, they lose focus very easily, restless, sleepy. Lepas pukul 12, if the teacher is not a good teacher, you go to the class, the students, some students will be sleeping. But guru yang menggunakan cognitive learning, you don't see anybody sleeping. Anybody sleepy already? Sudah ada yang ngantuk? Ada? Okay, in a short while, I'm going to stop talking. Okay, sleepy, not engaged, and easily distracted. Now, how to carry out cognitive learning? The first thing to remember is grouping, kumpulan. Bentuk kumpulan sangat penting. 2 cara yang saya cadangkan. Yang pertama, guru yang pilih siapa dalam satu kumpulan. Sebab cikgu tahu pelajar siapa yang boleh menjadi ketua, siapa pelajar yang boleh masuk dalam kumpulan tersebut. Si teacher selected. Then the second one, very important also, is heterogeneous grouping. Maksud dengan heterogeneous ialah pelajar yang dalam satu kumpulan mesti terdiri daripada pelbagai kemampuan. Tak boleh letak semua pandai dalam satu kumpulan ataupun semua sederhana dalam satu kumpulan ataupun sangat lemah dalam satu kumpulan. Tak boleh. Cikgu kena you have to mix them up, and there is a good reason for that. So these are 2 ways to do grouping. Now the next thing is the technique. Tadi kita dah tahu think, pair, share. That is one technique, right? Other than that, we are going to, before we go into the grouping, there's one thing I want you to remember, and that is the silent signal. Dalam kelas kita perlu ada satu isyarat senyap. Isyarat senyap ialah you will see my hand going up like this. What do you do? Everybody put up your hand. Everyone. Thank you very much. You are very, very cooperative. Thank you. Everybody put up your hand. When I put up my hand, you will have to put up your hand. And then you have to stop talking. And some of your friends cannot see my hand. What do? You would help me. How do you help? Tell them, oi, tangan no. Boleh You can do that. Your students, when you do with your students, they will help you. Never underestimate your students. They can help you. Whatever you want to do, silent signal, some of your students will help you. Don't worry. I can guarantee they will help you. So nanti ya, kena bantu lah saya nanti ya. What is this? Silent signal. The silent signal is later when you are doing your work, very hard for me to shout, "Oi, stop!" Very. All I need to do is put up my hand and you will stop. Right. How many techniques can you see there? How many can you see? 4, isn't it? Can you read them for me? Number 1 is what? What's number 2? What's number 3? What's number 4? Base check. Now this is what we are going to do. I'm going to put you into groups now. Listen carefully. You listen carefully. Before that, we are going to distribute some cards. We are going to distribute this card. Every one of you will have to hold one card. What is this color? And what is this color? You tell me red stands for what? Stop. What else? What else? Red stands for what? Bravery. What else? Sorry? Danger. So red for today, this afternoon, maksud dengan merah itu tak faham. Apa dia? Apa maksud merah itu? Tak faham. Ya, tak faham. Hijau, apa maksud dengan hijau? Faham. Ya. Cikgu ingat tak yang formative assessment? Formative assessment. Nanti kita akan lihat sama ada kad ini, penggunaan kad ini berkesan. Do you have a card each? You got a card? I know. You see, our friend here, dia tunjuk yang pink. Sebab apa? I've been doing the workshop. The teachers like, and then some of them they don't give me back. So when I went back to the office, and then I asked them, "Can you give me red?" Dia kata tak ada red. So mau tak mau, I do use pink. Sama juga, pink stands for tak faham. Dia sama dengan merah. Ya. So setakat ini, kalau cikgu faham apa yang saya kata, tunjuk hijau. Belum faham, tunjuk merah. Card. When I say card, you have to hold the card. Okay? Card, please. I want to see your card. Alright, I want to see. Some of you merah kejap and then hijau kejap. Okay, never mind. Let me explain. Each one of you, setiap cikgu diberi satu kad yang berwarna merah dan hijau. Maksud dengan merah ialah tak faham. Maksud dengan hijau adalah saya faham. From now, I'll be calling card. If you show me red, you don't understand. If you show me green, you understand. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is to form groups. Form groups. You have to listen to me very carefully because I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one home group. Kumpulan rumah satu. Kumpulan home group. What did I say? Again? One home group. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can explain. You can help me. So one home group. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cikgu pergi 4. Right? You're 4. One home group. That. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So remember your number in your group. Now, what happened is in your class, you have 2 extra. Let's say you have 1 extra here. What do? You cannot have number 5. Everybody has up to 4. But you got 1 extra person here. what you do is, you cannot have 5, you have to 4A, 4B. Katakan satu lagi ya, yang extra di sini, dia menjadi 3A, 3B. Satu lagi yang extra, 2A, 2B. Kalau semua 4, maksudnya banyak orang di 4. Faham? Cut. I know this is going to happen. Don't worry. Cikgu, apabila cikgu bentuk kumpulan dalam kelas, akan berlaku ada yang lebih. Ada yang lebih. Yang lebih itu tak boleh 5. Lain punya kumpulan 4 orang. Jadi tak boleh 5. Dia kena 4A, 4B. Katakan 4A, 4B. Mereka ini mesti duduk bersama. Apabila saya kata cikgu pergi ke kumpulan expert nombor 4, dia akan bersama duduk sana 4A, 4B. Dia 4 belah 2. Yeah? We cannot have number 5 because there's no other people in number 5. Faham? Card, show me your card. Show me your card. Masih merah. Okay. Alright, never mind, don't worry. You have a class. Kalau bentuk kelas, kalau macam ini tidak ada masalah. Semua ngam-ngam po. Kalau ada seorang lebih, dia tak boleh nombor 5 kan? So what do we do? Dia kena 4. So kita 4kan dia 4B, kerana sudah ada 4 di sini. So yang lebih itu 4B. 4A dan 4B akan pergi bersama, duduk dalam kumpulan, duduk bersama. Ada dua 4. Ya, kalau ada 2 orang yang lebih, dia tak boleh 4A, 4B, 4A, 4B. Kita kata 3A, 3B. Ya, faham? Kalau 3 yang lebih, kita gunakan 2. 2A, 2B. Faham? So, cut. Show me your cut. Okay, so you understand. Now, we are going into groups. Remember kumpulan rumah. Nanti saya akan kata balik rumah, bukan rumah sana, rumah sini. Balik rumah. Sekarang, semua yang nombor 1 angkat tangan. Nombor 1 angkat tangan. Semua nombor 1 boleh bergerak di sini. Nombor 1 di sini. Nombor 2 pergi ke sana. Alright. Nombor 3 ke sini. Then you can hear a pin drop. What I'm saying to you is, our students are going to be very cooperative. And do not underestimate them. Yeah? I just do 3 kali sudah bisa. So, thank you, cikgu. Nah, begini cikgu. Untuk jigsaw, sebab cikgu ini cikgu yang cikgu pandai, saya tak akan mengambil masa banyak sangat untuk teruskan dengan quiz. Jigsaw cikgu, you must end with a quiz. The quiz would make the student accountable. Tadi individu, accountability individu tadi ya. Mereka perlu tahu dalam jigsaw mesti faham tanggungjawab aspek lain selain daripada dia. Cikgu ini, mereka expert peer tutoring. Dia akan belajar inner of the circle, best check dan jigsaw. Sebab takut cikgu akan tanya soalan lain, cikgu tak jawab, tanya dia number peer tutoring. You don't ask them because they're expert in peer tutoring. Okay? Faham? Kan? Kan? There's a red there. Now, listen. Untuk jigsaw, cikgu akhir dengan quiz. Quiz dia supaya kita tahu pelajar sudah dapat ilmu daripada rakan lain dalam kumpulan itu. Kalau cikgu lihat saya beri kertas yang warna dia lain sebab orang tua susah saya tahu siapa number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and there are so many of you. So you need to devise a system where you know who is supposed to be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Like the lady in the back, she is doing inner outer circle. Saya tak akan tanya dia, cikgu jelaskan kepada kita how to do inner outer circle. I know she knows inner outer circle sebab di kumpulan expert tadi diberi peluang untuk belajar bersama dengan kawan yang lain yang buat inner outer circle. Saya akan tanya cikgu itu, jelaskan nombor 1. Nombor 1 apa? Jigsaw kan? Ataupun peer tutoring, ya? Ataupun apa? What's the next one? She's doing it now, circle. Test check, yeah? Test check. So quiz, you must have a quiz. Now, option yang lain untuk quiz ini, if you're in a class, you ask the number 1 sampai ke depan. So everybody will line up here. Number 1. Ya, semua di depan. Soalan tu cikgu kena bersedia dengan soalan. Kalau cikgu menggunakan slide, very good. If you don't use slide, then you have to write them somewhere. So number 1 should be there, and then you give the question. You give them 2 minutes to find the answer, and then they write it down on a piece of paper, and cikgu akan kata, tunjuk. They will show you the answer serentak, karena semua di depan. Sebab kalau kita tanya mereka di sana secara lisan, manusia ini dengar kawannya cakap, dia adjust his answer already. It's not fair lah kan? So you think of a way to do the quiz, and always end with the quiz for jigsaw. Nampak? Kan? For you, I ask you to show me the card. One reason so that you don't fall asleep. Okay? Alright. Now we are going to move faster. Move faster. What do you see there? This is the technique nombor 5, running dictation. Cikgu akan you will have to work in pairs. The 2 of you, 3 in 1 pair. Pair. You have to work in pair. Satu akan menjadi runner. What did I say? Runner itu lari kan, pelari. Dia lari, dan kawan yang satu dia menjadi penulis. Writer. Listen, what you do is, yang lari nampak tak cikgu kertas merah jambu? Ada di belakang juga. Nampak di belakang juga ada. Jadi pelari is sama. Every piece of paper is the same. You can go anywhere you want. Tugasan dia, pelari lari ke sana, baca apa yang di sana, balik dia akan sebut kepada writer. So writer itu akan tulis apa yang dia perolehi. Nampak? Cut. You all very clever. Sekali saja ada faham. So pelari, you lari, dapat makluman itu, lari balik, beritahu kawan, dia akan tulis Baik, ada dua syarat. Ada dua syarat. Syarat yang pertama, tak boleh pergi ke sana baca dengan suara kuat kawan di sana. Tak boleh. Mesti balik dan beri kawan di sana. Ya. Syarat nombor dua, tahu tak syarat nombor dua? Tak boleh guna handphone. Tangkap gambar tak boleh, ya. Yeah. So you go run one runner. Now in your class you can minta giliran dia 2 minit yang kena tukar. Yang writer pula yang lari, yang lari pula yang tulis. In your class, supaya semua murid dapat peluang untuk bergerak. Cikgu faham? Kan? Thank you. Since you understand, what you do is when I say go, you run there, you come back with the information. And then the first couple, the first pair yang dapat salin semua beri kepada Cikgu Irene. Cikgu Irene akan lihat siapa pemenang dan Cikgu Irene akan beri ni. Nampak? The first pair who can finish the whole thing have to run to Cikgu Irene, show to her. Okay, if you are ready, run. Run. Kata back pun ada. Cikgu tak boleh tulis di sana, kena balik. Dia lisan. Okay, run. Rana tak boleh bawa pensel, pen, tak boleh, jangan bawa kertas tu. We are done. We are done. Have a seat. Have a seat. A few points I want to highlight. Number one, you will see a few people here tunggu giliran untuk beritahu cikgu. Betul kan jawapan dia? That's what we want to see in the children. I saw one lady there. Dia balik ke sana. And this lady, she is trying to remember itu yang kita tak juga. We want the children to process, letak jauh supaya mereka boleh guna ingatan mereka. they are processing the information as they walk back. And when they are walking back, how to sleep? There's movement. Yeah, there's movement. Baik. Setakat ini, cikgu faham the benefit of running dictation. Show me your card. Alright, listen. There's a very good question here. Satu soalan di sini. Boleh tak menggunakan singkatan? Kalau katakan cikgu, bolehlah kan? Kalau murid, sebab kita mengajar ejaan, kita mengajar convention yang lain, I would be very strict. Kata bulat-bulat. If you're teaching English, the "the" is missing, is out already. The article is missing, the "s" is missing, it's out already. Ya. Dan untuk kita memberi, you have students who are not very good. I always get asked this question. Bagaimana dengan murid yang tidak boleh menulis dan membaca? So you can't give them difficult task sheet. What you do is task sheet. Di sana yang the full text. But what the children have, there are some missing letters. They can be filling in the blanks. Yeah? If filling in the blanks is too difficult for some differentiated, I would say, okay, for you go and find the letter, the missing letter. Right? So what technique is this? So for running dictation, you can place the material outside the classroom. You can have the blackboard like this or outside the classroom. You can have outside the classroom like this. You can have the material in the middle of the class. Buku. Semua buku diletak di sana. Runner tu pergi cari jawapan di sana. Tengah-tengah kelas tu. They're finding the answers. Okay. Now, kalau cikgu Google competitive learning, there's so many techniques. But one technique yang di sini, yang saya round robin, Pace debate. Again in pace. Satu jawab soalan, satu tanya soalan. Debate is like the person who asks the question keep asking the question. The partner has to answer. STAD. This is one of the earliest. Kalau kita bercakap tentang competitive learning, student team achievement division. This one is a bit mathematical, and for the life of me, I can't really understand the point system, so I don't normally bother. Tetapi untuk round robin is brainstorming, sama dengan brainstorming, di mana semua ahli kumpulan tidak dibenarkan untuk kritik jawapan rakan dia. Apa saja yang disebut oleh rakan dia terima, tak boleh kata salah. Ya, round robin cannot say you are wrong, not right. Because we want them to speak up. My favorite is the talking chip. Chip itu boleh dibuat daripada kertas. Katakan setiap pelajar diberi 3 chip. Chip ialah untuk kawal murid pelajar yang suka bercakap. Asyik dia saja bercakap, orang lain itu tak perlu bercakap. Dominant. So there are 4 of them. Each has 3 chips. He speaks, he put 1 chip in the middle. He speaks the second time, he puts another chip there. He speaks the third time, tak ada chip tinggal, tak boleh bercakap. hanya orang yang ada chip itu dibenarkan bercakap. Sehingga semua chip mereka diletak di tengah-tengah, barulah dia boleh bercakap. That technique is called talking chip. Talking chip untuk mengawal pelajar yang dominan. So there are many other techniques. Then you can marry 1, 2 techniques or 3 techniques together. Tak semestinya satu lesson buat satu teknik. Cikgu boleh buat 2, gabung 3 teknik. Nampak cikgu? Kat tepat cikgu. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the next thing I want you to do, this is a very important part. Cikgu kena cari seorang rakan yang mengajar mata pelajaran yang sama. 2 orang bekerja, dan cikgu pilih satu teknik antara teknik yang sudah kita tahu tadi, jigsaw, running dictation, base check dan sebagainya, dan buat satu rangka. You plan a lesson which you can teach tomorrow or next week. Yeah, you have the technique, and then roughly you have your outcome, and then your activities. Yang penting activities. Lepas itu, setiap cikgu di sini akan diberi peluang untuk buat persembahan. Berapa orang dalam dewan ni sekarang? 100 lebih kan? Kalau 100 lebih, seorang bercakap 5 minit, bila kita akan habis? Esok kan? Begitulah. But I'm going to demonstrate to you the presentation can be done in 20 minutes by every one of you. All I need for you to do is to prepare your lesson, and let's see how are you going to present your lesson to your friends afterwards using one of the techniques that you have just learned yourself. So find somebody, work with that person about the lesson that you want to teach tomorrow. Yeah. Once you are done, we are going to go into another technique, yeah, where you are going to present the technique. Alright? Do you understand? Follow my instruction. I hear yes, but I still want the card. I still want you to show me your card. Do I see any red at the back? 2 reds, some reds there. Normally the back people cannot hear me. Alright, listen up. You find somebody who teaches the same subject. Katakan bahasa Melayu, cari seorang. Duduk bersama cikgu itu, then what you do is to come up with a lesson plan. Lesson plan itu, cikgu perlu pilih satu teknik antara teknik yang sudah kita belajar tadi. Gunakan teknik itu untuk lesson tersebut. Now, I told you just now you can use 2 techniques. It's okay also. But the important thing is, think of something that you can do tomorrow or on Monday next week. Faham? Kan? Okay, so you understand? Now you go find your partner. Go find your partner. Now you can go around the room, find somebody in the room who is teaching DM, who is teaching English, who is teaching science, who is teaching mathematics. Okay, baik. Begini cikgu, in the interest of time, yang penting saya mahu cikgu melalui proses dan cikgu faham. Ya? Jadi, dengar, listen up. This is what we need to do. You need to do the practice to really understand it. Maksud saya, setiap cikgu dalam dewan ini perlu buka mulut dan sebut sesuatu. Apa yang disebut ialah lesson plan yang cikgu reka. Kita akan buat persembahan. Setiap orang kena bercakap. Saya kata tadi, kalau kita seorang, until next week pun kita belum habis. So we do not do that. So what we do, we use inner, outer circle. What technique did I say? Inner, outer circle. Cikgu ambil kertas yang diberi oleh rakan saya tadi. My colleagues have given you a piece of paper. Can you show me the piece of paper? Everybody. If you don't show me, you get lost afterwards. You get lost. You have to show. Everybody has a piece of paper. Does anybody know piece of paper? Ada, semua ada. Apa yang cikgu nampak? Nombor dan lagi di sebelah exit ticket. Dua perkara di sini, tapi yang pertama dulu nombor. Lihat nombor cikgu. Kalau cikgu nombor genap, boleh tak angkat tangan nombor genap? Angkat tangan genap. Nombor genap. Ya, angkat tangan genap. Okey. Turunkan tangan. Ganjil angkat tangan. Kalau tak cikgu tak dengar saya, sesak nanti. Ya. Dengar arahan saya yang ganjil berdiri dulu. Cikgu tolong ambil ke sini. You come towards me. All of you come towards me. Push the chairs outside. Come towards me. Ganjil. Ya, ganjil. We don't need the chair. Kita tak perlu kerusi. Berdiri saja cikgu. You all face me. Ganjil satu bulatan. Cikgu, move your chair. Yeah. Are you facing me? Ganjil. Only the ganjil people standing. Satu bulatan please. Ganjil, one bulatan. Bigger. Move your chair. Ganjil, form one bulatan. Form satu bulatan. Jangan dia putus. Okay, don't break the circle. Ganjil, form one circle. You are double park there. Move there. Move. Ganjil. Yang genap, you just sit down first. Genap. I want to handle the ganjil. Alright, ganjil. Form one circle, please move back. Very good. Until here, double park. Can you come? Form one circle. Right. Gentlemen, come here. Good. Are you ganjil kenal? Then you okay? You okay? Well done. You see, there's so many of you. We have to use a system where we ask you to look at your number. Kalau tidak, 1 jam pun saya tak boleh. I cannot get you to stand this way. Because of the ganjil genap, less than 5 minutes I can get you to stand this way. Nampak? You can do, when you do that for your student, you have 50, you do the numbering. Kalau tidak, you have to like that. Sini. Jangan bergerak. You will do that for your student. Penat kita. Selalu. Penat. Zia, beratus orang senang kita dapat berdiri dalam 1 bulan tak. Sebab kita ada sistem. Now, what I want you to do, turn back. Turn back. Genap, please find somebody to stand in front. Genap, find someone to stand in front of you. Genap, find somebody to stand in front of you. Move this way. Genap, siapa yang nampak kita akan kejar dia? Kita suruh dia menari nanti. Okay, brilliant. So, ada tak yang tak ada orang di depannya? Cikgu Irene. Oh, Cikgu Irene. You help me. You find anybody who doesn't have. Put up your hand. You don't have a partner. If you don't have a partner, put up your hand. Okay? Okay, you don't have a partner. Cikgu, ni cikgu. Oh, cikgu. Yeah, the lady here. You outside. Okay. Anybody else tak ada partner? Perfect. One more then. Cikgu Su, Cikgu Irene, you are helping me, right? No partner. Okay, there's one person, no partner. Okay, now, this is how you handle the no partner. Sebab dia tak ada, you ask her to pair. Somebody there without partner. Complete there, right? So you pair. You bergerak dengan dia. Okay, can you come in? You are even? Both of you even or? Okay. So never mind. You all have a partner already, so never mind. You two will be together. You move together. Baik, listen. Outer circle, angkat tangan. Outer circle. Anda akan mula. Apa yang cikgu cerita ialah lesson plan cikgu. Cerita kepada kawan yang depan dengan cikgu, lesson plan cikgu. Dan cikgu akan dengar arahan saya berhenti. Dan you berhenti. Then you will follow my instruction. Cut. Faham lah tu. Well done. So since you understand, I will say go. Mula bercerita. Outer circle mula bercerita. Berhenti. Stop. Stop. What happened, cikgu? Akan berlaku ada pelajar murid yang lambatkan cerita. Cikgu akan kata stop juga, supaya apabila dia move, he will adjust his speed. Dia tak takut lagi dia akan lambat-lambat. Sebab cikgu akan kata berhenti. Do you follow? So you say stop. Now listen. Outer circle, where is your right? Outer only ya. Inner tak boleh bergerak. Outer circle, satu langkah ke kanan. Satu langkah ke kanan. Pergi. Sekarang ada orang baru di depan cikgu. Baik, orang baru. Outer circle, mula cerita. Stop. Outer circle, satu langkah ke kanan. Satu langkah ke kanan. Sekarang seorang baru di depan cikgu. Mula. Stop. Outer circle, satu langkah lagi ke kanan. Satu langkah lagi ke kanan. Mula. Stop. Baik. Pastikan cikgu ingatkan inner circle. Ingatkan inner circle. Jangan tipu. Dia sepatutnya dengar. Yeah? So ingatkan mereka, inner circle, don't talk. You will have your chance to speak. Baik. Kalau cikgu gunakan dalam bilik darjah dan cikgu mahu belajar ingat fakta penting itu, bolehlah buat 10 kali. Kalau 5 kali, very good. Kalau 10 kali, that's excellent. If you repeat something for 10 times, I tell you remember the thing very clearly. Setuju? Now you get the idea. Sekarang Inner circle, tukar posisi dengan kawan di depan, pergi ke dalam. Barulah peluang diberi, ya. Inner circle, jangan kepo. Berilah peluang kepada kawan. Outer circle, dengar outer circle, nanti cikgu akan beri arahan satu langkah ke kiri. Kena lawan, kena lawan. Sebab apabila cikgu tak lawan dia, cikgu akan berjumpa dengan orang yang sama. Kalau kita jumpa dengan orang yang sama, peliklah kita ulang benda yang sama. Nampak? So, outer circle mula dengan cerita anda. Outer circle mula. Baik, berhenti. Stop. Stop. Outer circle. Stop. Listen. Outer circle. Satu langkah ke kiri. Mana kiri? Kiri. New person in front of you, mula. Stop. Stop. Outer circle. Stop. Stop. Outer circle, satu langkah ke kiri lagi. Mula. Okay. Baik. Listen up. Listen up. You guys are very good students. You know, I was thinking when David Wilson said you have 200 people, I said, oh, 200, how to control 200? But as I told you, human beings, basically they are good. They know they can help you like now. Tak ada masalah controlling you, no problem. You get the idea? Everybody, ada tak yang bercakap tadi? Kalau ada, sebab dia tak siap dia punya lesson plan. Jadi, apabila cikgu buat dalam kelas sendiri, pastikan mereka diberi masa yang cukup. Ya? So, apabila dia ada bahan dan dia akan gunakan peluang untuk cerita dan berkongsi itu dengan sebaik mungkin. Yang penting di sini kita beri peluang kepada semua pelajar dalam kelas kita. Ada tak yang tidur tadi berdiri? Ya? Di sini ada yang tidur berdiri? Tak ada kan? Ya? Tak ada yang tidur, tak ada yang berdiri. So, what technique is this one? Teknik apa? Cikgu boleh gabung 1, 2, 3 pun boleh cikgu gabung. Ya, tak semestinya 1. And then the whole lesson you use that technique. You can gabung 1 or 2. Ya. Now, the important thing to remember is the technique that you use, the justifikasi dia, kita mahu processing, students are processing information. It is not merely parroting. And then yang dengar pula, they are given opportunity to listen. We must train our students to listen as well as to speak. So kena ingatkan mereka, ingat jangan kepo. Always tell them. They're naturally like that, but you have to remind them when your friends are talking, you say no. Sebab listening skill is also just as important as speaking. Nampak? Baik. What I want you to do, take your chair and sit. Ambil kerusi dan duduk. Kalau boleh, datang ke depan sikit. Jangan jauh. Come towards me. Closer. You can sit anyhow as long as you're seated. But can't yourself.
Jangan situ ni cerah mata. Pipi diri.
Okay. Baik, well done. Okay. Sekarang kita lihat. I will ask you this question. What do you think the impact of cooperative learning for students? What do you think what are the impact for teachers untuk cikgu? More effective lesson kata di sini. Untuk student, ada tak yang tidur? They active learners kata orang di sini. Very good. Now let me flash some here. I know you know that it confirms. Ya, affirmation kata orang. Affirmation. Yang pertama, for student, keyakinan cikgu. Kalau kita asyik saja bercakap, bila lagi ya student kita diberi peluang untuk bercakap. Kalau dia bercakap bersama dengan kawan dia lebih berani. Ya, the more kita beri peluang, mereka akan lebih yakin. Ya. Dan social skill, collaborative dan social skill, kita perlu mengajar pelajar kita kemahiran sosial. Kalau tidak, pelajar kita tidak tahu bagaimana berinteraksi dengan orang lain. Contoh social skill, turn-taking. Turn-taking maksud dia, apabila kita bercakap, seorang bercakap pada satu masa. Tak adalah kita pernahkan 4 people talking at the same time. That is not. So you need them to train them to have turn-taking. Oh, then you stop talking, listen to one person. Seterusnya, kita juga galak pelajar kita main peranan penggalak, I call it encourager. encourager. We need somebody in the group who will observe a particular student who is less talkative. So this person that who is akan lihat dia kata, oh, wait, can we listen to cikgu ni? Dia menjadi seorang encourager who gives opportunity for a person to talk less. Nampak? It is our duty to train our students to kasihan orang lain yang jarang ada peluang untuk bercakap. Faham jadi? One, social skill. Seterusnya, teamwork. Over time, kumpulan yang kita wujud tu sepanjang tahun mereka akan they will form a group, a team throughout the year. In my former school, after the teacher form a group, it stays for the whole year. It stays for the whole year. Seterusnya, ini yang saya suka. Self-directed learning. Pelajar yang kita bentuk dalam satu kumpulan, ada pelajar yang bijak dan pandai sebab diberi peluang mengajar kawan yang lain. Mereka semakin hebat. We have students who became very confident of themselves because we give them opportunities to teach their friends. The more opportunities they have, the more confident. I'm proud to say I had about 8 Form 4 students last year who joined the Toyota EcoYouth. Have you heard of the Toyota EcoYouth? Where one school in a state is selected to represent. We represented Sarawak. First of all, you have to go for a workshop that teach the students to do problem solving using 8 steps to solve a problem. My students, Form 4, when we went, they were very confident. Why? Because these are the people who were teaching their friends from Form 1. They are Form 4. So, everybody, some of these people in Semenanjung, they were looking down at us, my students, because of their English proficiency. One girl in her tudong speaks English, so confident. Everybody with her open mouth and all that. They are very impressed with her. All 8 of my students. So in October, you will go for the final judging, where they have to go on the stage. They will present in 15 minutes. Cannot be 1 second more than 15 minutes. And guess what? My student became Johan, Best Presentation, and they also got the Best Teacher Award. I can tell you the reason for that is cooperative learning. Yeah? The more opportunities we give to the student, the better they are at what they are doing. One more thing, these students will go back, guru akan beritahu, minggu depan inilah tajuk kita. Ketua kumpulan mesti bersedia. Tahu tak apa ketua tu buat? Balik ke rumah cikgu dia buat lesson plan dia sendiri. The students prepare their own lesson plan to teach their friends. Chemistry, for instance. So what I'm saying to you is, do not underestimate the students. They can surprise you and do things that you never would imagine. Yeah? That boy in the middle, no, this boy in front here, he brings his own small whiteboard. Dia bawa dari rumah. Saya benarkan dia guna pen. We forbid students from using marker pen. But these students, I allow them to use marker pen because I trust them. He will teach his friend mathematics or chemistry. These are for 5 students. Right. they'll be accountable for their learning. They won't be sleepy, they remember. They remember facts. Okay, next. So what about the teachers? I think you would know. Even though you just did this just now, you can imagine what impact would this be for you. My teacher said to cover the syllabus very fast. One teacher is teaching chemistry using jigsaw. According to her, she is able to finish the syllabus very quickly. And then banyak masa untuk ulang tingkatan 4 oleh sebab jigsaw dengan quiz dan sebagainya. There is better class control. 2 weeks ago, I was in Cebu in college vocational. One teacher texted the principal, the pengarah. Dia kata, setelah mendengar, dia amalkan class control much better. And so the pengetua resent the message to me. And I was very happy because that particular teacher is a very good teacher in the school. Better, less stress for the teacher, and then very motivating now. Tadi saya tanya, siapa yang who would like to have your student enjoy lesson? Many of you put up your hand. Karena kita ada kata orang yang jadi guru, the soul. You want the heart of the teacher. So when we see students enjoying themselves, that is really motivating, very motivating. And of course, the professional development part, the more you do this, you become more professionalized, kata orang. Terusnya, confidence level improve, and then the teacher also become the teacher enjoys the lesson. The more you do things, the students are really enjoying themselves. Being human, kita nampak pelajar kita enjoy themselves, and we also enjoy ourselves. And observer. This one is important. Apabila kita, when you get students to do group, you have a lot of time to walk around, and then you listen to what they're saying. And then in this way, you control your student. When you are not using competitive learning, you are stuck, rooted in one spot. Berdiri di sana, kita tak boleh bergerak. Tetapi dalam kumpulan tadi, nampak cikgu dapat pergi sana sini and so on. So my colleagues, they say this is a very good opportunity to get to know students. And the thing is that when you go around, suka betul student, they really like attention. Lagi you keep doing this, and you go around. That helps a lot. Nampak? So I know my students better. You know what they are weak in. You know who has problem exchanging ideas. You know which student you need to pay more attention to. So we come to the end. What I want to start with is something you don't find there, but it is called Ebbinghaus. Ebbinghaus. Nama seorang. It's a name of a person who did a study in the 1940s. Kajian dia berkaitan dengan conventional training ceramah, di mana seorang bercakap di depan dan peserta dengar ceramah itu. Tahu tak cikgu? 20 minutes after the ceramah, 20 minit selepas ceramah habis, berapa peratus maklumat yang sudah hilang? Would you know? 20 minutes after the ceramah, 42% hilang. 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 Belum lagi sampai dekat rumah. 40 berapa? 42 sudah hilang. Sebab duduk di sana kita is like somebody boring. You listen as much as you can, but fortunately 20 minutes later 42 hilang. 30 hari setelah kita mendengar ceramah itu, hanya 21% yang tinggal. 20% yang tinggal. Kalau cikgu itu mengamalkan apa yang dia dapat, 10% saja yang dapat diamalkan. It's very, very, something. That's why I spend millions of ringgit calling people for the ceramah, just to know 20 minutes later 42% already hilang. But this afternoon I didn't do the ceramah. I didn't do the PowerPoint karaoke. Tahu karaoke itu? Kita nampak lirik tu kita nyanyi, kan? I don't want to do that. But what I did is I got you to bergerak. I got you to do jigsaw. And to do jigsaw, at the same time you learn 3 other techniques. Yeah? You did it yourself. That is why saya mula dengan experiential learning just now. Cikgu experience dia sendiri. Saya yakin 20 minit selepas ini taklah 42% yang hilang. Saya yakin cikgu boleh gunakan sekurang-kurangnya 1 teknik pembelajaran kooperatif esok, minggu depan, minggu seterusnya, bulan selepas itu. Boleh? Okay. So my conclusion would be, don't stop here. Please do something tomorrow. Saya dah beri bengkel ini kepada guru besar anda pagi tadi. Sebab dia, saya mahu mereka faham apa maksud dengan teknik pembelajaran kooperatif. Dan maklum balas daripada guru besar bagus. How did I get the maklum balas? Ambil kertas yang dia beri. Can you show me the kertas yang dia beri? Di sebelah exit ticket, di exit ticket ada ruang exit ticket. Saya mahu cikgu tulislah refleksi. What do you think of this workshop? Did you learn anything? If you do, what? If you have any plan for tomorrow, write it down. And I want to encourage you to do something similar untuk murid cikgu. Setiap PDP beri satu ruang untuk belajar tulis refleksi yang positif, supaya cikgu dapat dorongan daripada siapa? Murid kita. Do you get it? I was told by Cikgu Irene, this practice is done in Sekolah Amanah. You know about Sekolah Amanah? Di Sarawak ada 5 buah Sekolah Amanah di Kuching. Yeah? So guru yang mengajar mereka akan mengajar they will try their best. At the end of the lesson, the students have to write exit ticket. Saya buat ini. When I do my workshop, I get you people to write. Kalau tidak, cikgu tak boleh keluar daripada. Saya dengan cikgu Irene akan duduk di sana. Cikgu kena beri exit ticket baru dapat keluar. So I give you a few minutes to write down. When you are done, that's it. Saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada semua cikgu kerana telah beri kerjasama. Ya. Saya semalam saya risau sikit, terlalu ramai macam mana dapat kawal. Tapi nampaknya tidak ada masalah. Sebab semua cikgu beri kerjasama. So thank you.